I'm here to tell you, friends, about one of the most amazing and fascinating areas of study that I have ever discovered. We want you to watch the complete video. It's not very long, but I want to just step in here to emphasize not just the series, 6 lessons, which you'll hear about in a moment, but I want to emphasize the very first lesson. We called it Amazing Facts. Actually, it's amazing facts the devil doesn't want you to know. But I cannot emphasize enough how important this 1 hour of your life really is. Think of it, 1 hour of your life. How important is 1 hour? And so you can take my word for it, if you will, but if not, you have to come and see for yourself. And so I'm asking you, just give us 1 hour of your life to show you scientifically that there is a God, that He is real. And in this 1 hour, we will use the science of mathematics to prove to you that God really, really does exist, and we're going to face Him someday. So, there's no argument with the science of mathematics. If you have 3 apples on the table and you add 2 more apples on the table and count them all, you now have 5 apples on the table because 3 plus 2 equals 5. Now that's as scientifically, conclusively proven as can possibly be. And so that's what we use, mathematics, to prove the reality and existence of God. So friend, I cannot possibly emphasize enough. You'll have to come and see for yourself. And so I ask you only, just give me 1 hour of your life to show you amazing facts about the Bible and about God. Listen to the rest of the video. I know it will help you understand what glorious things are ahead for you if you study the Bible. And of course, it was not particularly new with me. My father was a great lover of books and learning and biology and science and faith and religion. And I knew of this from way back in his days. He's long since gone on. But I want to tell you that I have investigated more recently, and I have come across some amazing information. And I'm telling you that, first of all, let me tell you what I've called it. I've called it, after the use of that short abbreviation for that tremendous explosive, TNT, I just rearranged the letters, and I call this NTT. Instead of TNT for the explosive, I've called it NTT, which I have to stand for this, NTT. I don't know if you can see it all there. NTT, Nuclear Truth Tutoring. It's a new name and a new project. And I will tell you what, nobody should think that they should live without knowing. Now, we've set this up in 6 simple lessons. They're easy enough for a school person, that is a young person, to understand, all the way up to doctors, lawyers, and what have you. One man who is central to part of this study spent 50 years almost exclusively studying this body of information that we share. Now, we have just 6 simple lessons. You can do it in 6 weeks. You can do it faster if you want, but we don't encourage it that way. And we have it set up so that actually my wife and I do personal tutoring on this subject. We're not using our own information. We're sharing information that has been pioneered by others. Some of it is our own, and that's why it makes it personal. This is not something that we can send out worldwide. It's something that we have to give to you if you are in the Los Angeles area or thereabouts, and you can personally come to us. We set it up so that we do a personal lesson. My wife and I do the lesson, but we don't. It's not like a class or a college subject or even if you're looking to a church, and we are associated with a church, so there is a faith element to this. I won't deceive you about that, but there is a faith element to this. But it's still powerful knowledge. I mean, you should have this knowledge. Even if you think you don't believe in God, you should have this knowledge. If you think that you are a pure, unadulterated, only science-only person, you should still have this knowledge. And so we've set it up in 6 lessons, and we call it tutoring rather than a class or a study, or if you're looking at it from a religious point of view, a Sunday school or a Bible study or a church or a lesson. No, we're not doing that. We're associated with the church. Our church is a well-established church, the oldest religion in the world. We are apostolic Pentecostal people. The Pentecostal religion, of course, has been in modern times going for well over 100 years, but in more ancient times, it goes back about 4,000 years. So we date ourselves. Somebody says, well, we're the first church. Well, we don't even talk about that because we're before there was a church. We're way back to the days of course, the Jewish faith when it comes to this religious side of this. But this is information that doesn't deal just with religion. It presents to you a scientific evidence that you should not live without. You should not dare to call yourself educated. Whether your education is no more than high school, or whether you have a 4-year college education, or whether you are a doctor of some sort. You should not call yourself educated if you don't know what we tutor in these 6 simple lessons. And we have it set up so you come to us, and we call it tutoring because we'll do it with just one person. We'll do it if we can coordinate with 2 or 3 other people. We'll do it. If we get a larger group, of course, we have the capacity to do that in a large class. But whatever the case, we do the lesson with you, then we send you home. There are 3 different ways that we give you to go over the lesson and answer some questions on that particular lesson study so that we're sure you get it. And then, of course, when you come back for the next lesson, we go over your questionnaire to see that you have absorbed what was presented to you. And so we have it all set up for you. It's a wonderful system of study, and I call it tutoring rather than a class or a study or a lesson. I call it tutoring because we've done it already. A one-on-one basis. That is not one-on-one. My wife and I do it together, but we've done it with just 1 student. We've done it with maybe as many as 6 students. Sometimes we've had more than that. But we want to tell you about NTT, Nuclear Truth Tutoring. It's scientific truth. It's spiritual truth, religious truth, faith truth. And it is something that you need to know. And so what I'm saying is spread this to your friends. And we're giving our phone number here. And it is, of course, the best number to call is the 562-867-7174. We'll put that up for you. But we also have websites and all that. We can take you to that. But the most important thing is that you spread the word, and we're depending on you as a person. Now, this is only something we can do in the Los Angeles area. It has to be at least somewhere you can drive to us. We can't do the personal tutoring and drive halfway across the country. You understand that. So unfortunately, if you're ever coming to Los Angeles, set it up with us. And we can do a crash course with you. In probably 5 or 6 hours, we can present to you the whole substance so you can get it. But it depends on Los Angeles area where you can drive to us. So it's a tutoring system. And we will give you knowledge that it's not original with us, at least some of it is not. And it is some of the most powerful knowledge you will ever discover. Even if you are a graduate with a doctorate degree, this is an area of study that can challenge you. I'm telling you. One of the inputs in this was a doctor who spent about 50 years primarily just studying one aspect of what we're presenting to you. And so remember, you need to get NTT, Nuclear Truth Tutoring. There's so much out there that's not really the truth and not dependable. So you need to get Nuclear Truth Tutoring. And all you have to, and we're not charging for this. This is free. We just ask you to be sincere and study carefully. And, we're not trying to stuff anything at you. We're showing you the evidence. We're letting you go ahead and do some more research on your own. But this is fabulous. You've got to do this, friend. Whoever you are, you've got to do this. So will you help us spread this news through Facebook and other ways in the Los Angeles area? Repost my video on your site, and any of your friends that are in the LA area, tell them to be sure and get in on these Nuclear Truth tutoring sessions. And you will never be the same. If you study this and let it have its impact on you, you will be a different person in just 6 short lessons. I don't know what else to say about this. This is the most fabulous bit of information that I have ever come across in all my years. My father swore by this. And there are other great teachers who have fastened onto this and promoted it a little. But mostly it's unknown stuff. Mostly, I would suppose that if I went out on the street and I asked people, if I went to a college, for example, even, and I asked the students, have you heard of this? I would suppose that 99.9% of those students, even the graduates, have not heard of it. So it's stuff you need to know. You shouldn't go through life without knowing this body of knowledge. We present it simply. You can expand it. There's lots of research out there that can still be done on this subject, but it's simply 6 simple lessons. We've made them simple, but you can expand them to be much more challenging and enlarge from there. But I want to invite you to call us and get in on this body of knowledge that you can't afford to live and die without knowing. I'm telling you, friend, you cannot afford to live and die without this knowledge, no matter who you are. So I give it to you. I put a few little things on the screen here to help you find us, set up your tutoring session. And it would be nice, of course, if you come for a tutoring session, that you come with a friend, with a family relative, or maybe several friends, because we're expandable. We can take a small class, but we will do it with as much as one person. Nuclear Truth Tutoring. You must get it, friend. You must. So I await your call.